Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the three-dimensional frequency. Today, I sit in front of you as a declaration of the trust that you have in the God that is within each and every one of us, of the nagging feeling inside your chest as you listen to my transmission that something is off within the societal structure that you reside in, that the truth of it all is hidden deep inside somewhere for all of us to discover one day and for all of us to find. And for those of you who have already discovered the spirit of God, the essence of God, the energy of God flowing through your body, it is the greatest and grandest feeling that you'll ever encounter in this entirety of a lifespan of your physical being within the three-dimensional frequency of this lifetime, within your soul's arduous journeys of death upon birth, upon rebirth, of death, cycles that never ever ends in this reincarnation cycle that lives forever and ever. Within this body of yours, within this three-dimensional frequency, you've lived a fruitful life. You've lived a fulfilling life. You've lived the life of all lifetimes that you shall ever know in this moment in time. As in this moment in time, this is the lifetime that you're experiencing in real time, in real physicality, in real essence of all that you are, all that you were, and all that you'll ever be. And this essence that I speak of is the essence of love, is the essence of universal truths, is the essence of God's consciousness, a consciousness so great and so grand that it has never left you since the moment you were born, since the moment that you decided to descend into a physicality so thick, into the three-dimensional frequency, into a body mass that shall forever anchor you down onto the ground of what is, onto the surface of all that there is within this reality field. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that there's more than one reality field. The reality field that we live in is the one that we observe, is the one that we experience, is the one that carries us through the days and nights of all that there is and all that we can perceive with these little minds of ours, with these little eyes of ours, and with this body that so graciously carries us through this lifetime. But once upon a time, prior to the time that you descended into this body, you lived an endless life. You are an endless soul. You are a multidimensional soul that has never left the essence of who you are. You've simply fractaled off a part of that oversoul of yours to come down into this body to experience all that you are in this moment in time. And within that fractaling of a portion of that oversoul, something peculiar happened. Something miraculous happened. Something in a million years that you shall never perceive within this lifetime. The essence of it all happened in that very moment. As a portion of your soul fractaled off to experience this reality, it quarantined itself into an energetic bubble. This energetic bubble will carry you through your existence within this frequency, within Gaia's frequency, in this current moment of the three-dimensional frequency, a frequency that has carried through generations and generations of souls, of fractal bubbles, throughout the nights of all nights, into a morning so bright. Up until this time, these bubbles have been unburstable. They've been protecting you from that of all that there is, so that you can experience this lifetime in a fresh perspective of what is, of what you decided to journey through as you drop down into this dimensional frequency that's so thick, as you learn these lessons that your soul so graciously set out to learn, to bring back to the entirety of the whole at the end of this journey. To bring back these lessons is an honor of sorts, is an experience seeked out by many oversouls, by many souls, as this Earth's frequency is unique in its own energetic field. Within the quantum verse, within the galaxies, within all that there is, within our little quantum realm, Earth is a special planet. She is a planet that carries the frequency within a three-dimensional frequency, within the energetic field of forgetfulness, within a field so dense in energy, so sparse in all that it is, that the souls that decide to drop down into her energetic body shall forevermore live a lifetime of pure lessons learned throughout a night so dark into a morning so bright, as they traverse all that there is, all that they can perceive from a singular perspective of what is, from a perspective of non-remembrance of who they truly are as a soul, as an entirety of the whole, and as the God consciousness that they are. Ladies and gentlemen, as you sit here in front of me today and listen to me speak to you about the essence of reality, the energy of what is, the layers and layers of pockets of energetic frequencies around you swirl around, as they are preparing to drop down into our frequency to merge with the essence of the three-dimensional frequency of all that it is, all that we are, and all that we shall ever know. And within this moment in time, as this happens, as the frequencies swirl around us on a societal level, on a collective level, on all levels that you can ever envision within our little quantum realm of ours, these frequencies are finally set to merge. To merge in a way that is so encompassing of the entirety of the whole. To merge in a way that will bring memories rushing forth into the forefront of our consciousness, that will burst our little bubble once and for final. As Gaia is preparing to shift into the next level of evolution, into her next level of evolutionary frequency, that of the five-dimensional frequency. That of the five-dimensional frequency is a conundrum of sorts. As you've been living in this physical being for all that you know, for all that you can perceive with your conscious mind, with your physical eyes, with your physical being, you do not yet know what it's like to be living in the five-dimensional frequency, as this frequency has not been anchored into our physicality as of yet. For those of you who have already awakened, your spiritual body may have expanded to a point, to a perspective beyond that of the people who still have the borders of their solid bubble encompassing their energetic fields. For those of you who have awakened, your bubble may have started to thin out, your bubble may have even bursted throughout the night of all nights. But at this point, as your consciousness expands into the vastness of all that there is, as your consciousness is able to reach into higher and higher frequencies of what is, as your consciousness is able to grow in size and expand and merge into the energetic frequency of God's frequency and all that there is, as you've been able to discover, to remember, to behold, to withhold all that you are and all that you shall never be. In this moment in time, you are still living and anchored into the three-dimensional frequency. Even though your consciousness can reach a higher level of being, your physicality is still sitting and merged into the frequency of the 3D. This is a conundrum of sorts. But as I sit here and tell you this today, I am also sitting in the three-dimensional frequency of Gaia's layer of energetic field that she is anchored into in this very moment in time. As my body is compatible with the five-dimensional frequency genetically, as it became altered during my awakening on a cellular and structural level to be able to merge into a lighter, brighter, more loving, more encompassing frequency of all that we are on the entirety of a whole. But I haven't yet ascended into the five-dimensional frequency. As you may have discovered, as you may already know, that the five-dimensional frequency has yet to be anchored into our reality fields. The anchoring of this frequency will happen within the splitting of a second. Within the split of a second, you will not know what has happened to you. An energetic shift so great and so grand will dawn upon humanity, will dawn upon Gaia, will dawn upon all that there is, all that there shall ever be, and all that we shall ever become, and all that has never left us, as an entirety of a whole of a God's consciousness that's so great and so grand. Within this split second, you will know once and for all where you belong within this split second. As for those of you who have awakened, you shall automatically be brought into this higher and lighter and brighter and more loving frequency as your body shifts into the state of being of what is and what shall forever be the most compatible with your energetic field and your energetic frequency. For those of you who have built a bubble so thick around your energetic field of what is and are still holding on to the darkness within you, to one day process it, to one day have it be processed into the light within. As your bubble starts shifting and thinning out, and perhaps even bursting throughout the night of all nights, you will still stay within the three-dimensional frequency until you are ready. Until the frequency within your energetic field is able to, on a chemical level, on a physical level, on a DNA level, on all levels of how energy frequency works, merge and flow and encompass that of the energetic field and frequency of the five-dimensional frequency. Within the split second, your neighbors, your friends, your daughter, your son, your mother, your father may experience the greatest and grandest shift of all of humanity's past, present, and future trajectories. And within the split second, you may be shocked. You may be livid. You may encompass the unconditional love that was always inside of you as you see the light flow through your being, as you see the light flow through your energetic frequency of what is. But for some of you, you may be in turmoil, a turmoil so deep, a turmoil so massive, a turmoil so conglomerated of all that you are and all that you were, as you begin to come to a realization of the energy frequency that you have been sitting in, that did not allow you to be carried into the next dimensional frequency of what is and towards the direction that our society as a whole and our consciousness as a whole is heading towards, which is that of the five-dimensional frequency. Within this moment in time, as you come to these realizations, fear not, because all is well. No matter where you end up on this journey of love, of unconditional forgiveness, of unconditional wholeness of what is, you will be okay. You are more than okay. You have always been okay. You have never been not okay. And I sit here and tell you this as a truth of reality of what is that cannot be disputed, that cannot be shifted, that cannot be changed, ever. As you may, within the split second, still be residing in the three-dimensional frequency. But just know that energetic frequencies shift and merge and flow with what is and with all that there is. And God's love, God's frequency that encompasses all that there is, will carry you into a morning so bright, into a love so deep, into a wholeness so encompassing of all that you are and all that you've ever been, that the lessons that you're experiencing, that you will experience within the split second, will eventually carry you into a higher, brighter, more encompassing, more loving, more unified frequency of what is. It will eventually carry you into the only direction of all of the directions that point towards different directions of the only direction that there is, towards the wholeness of God's consciousness, towards the wholeness of your consciousness, towards the wholeness of the conglomeration of the consciousnesses that are out there in the ethers, in the multiverse, in the galaxies, in all that there is, in all that you are, and in all that you shall ever be. As you, my friend, you are God. You are a part of God's consciousness that is so great and so grand, and this is a truth that you can never escape. You will never be able to escape this truth as far as you try to run into the darkness, as far as you try to destroy the aspect of the self within that encompasses the light. This can never happen to you in this lifetime or any other lifetime. As God is great and God is grand, and God has decided to shift all of the pieces of its being, including you, as a part of the entirety of the consciousness of what is, back into the light of reality, back into the light of what it is, back into the light of all that it shall ever be and all that has never left you. The darkness that you've been traversing within has only been a journey of sorts. An endless journey of journeys of all journeys that there could ever be, that will bring upon a morning of the brightest and most cohesive lights and the most unconditional love and forgiveness that you've ever felt in your being. As you melt away and merge into a dimensional frequency of who you've always been, as you merge in with a God's consciousness so great and so grand that you shall never want to leave it. And you shall never know the meaning of it all until the moment you do. Until the moment that you finally shift back into the state of who you always were, who you've always been, of the state that has never left you, of the perspective, of the middle point of the entirety of the whole, of a neutrality so great and so grand, from a neutrality perspective of where I sit. You shall never know the meaning of all of this until that moment finally happens. No matter how awake you think you are in this moment in time, for those of you light workers who have already awakened to the truth of what is, you will begin to slowly open up your perceptions into the wholeness of what is, into the unity of what is, into an awakening journey that is so massive and so grand and so great in scale that even the most awakened of light workers shall never believe, shall never perceive, shall never be able to perceive what is about to dawn upon their footsteps within this lifetime. You can think about it. You can try to perceive it in this moment in time. You can envision it. You can have a feeling. You can encompass a feeling of what is and what is about to dawn on our humanity as an entirety of a whole. But you will never be able to encompass the entirety of the whole from that neutrality perspective until we shift once and for all out of the three-dimensional frequency as we anchor into the five-dimensional frequency of what is, until your energetic body as an entirety of the whole, including your physical body, shall lift into this frequency that is so high, so great, and so grand for all of humanity to merge into, for all of humanity to witness, and for all of humanity to be.